Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your boy Shadow C, bringing you guys a brand new Fortnite Battle Royale video. And in today's video, guys, I'm going to be going over everything I did to get to Champion League with my trio. Now, I know some people are going to look at this video and think, dude, points have been reset for almost a month now. Who's going to need this video to get to champs? But this video is more for people who are struggling, maybe in Division 7 or 6, because at one point I was, lost in Division 7 and I couldn't get out. So this video is mainly going to be for people who are struggling and who need advice, and I'm just going to give advice on what I did to get to Champion League with my trio. But before we do get into the video, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. We've been posting a ton of content lately. We're going to keep continuing to post content. Fortnite's getting crazy. They're doing a lot of storyline stuff, arena grind, tournaments. A lot of content is going to be coming in all different aspects, so make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss it. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so the first thing and most important thing you can do, and none of the advice I'm going to give after this is going to work if you don't do this, is to get yourself a solid duo and a solid trio. If you're trying to play solos in this season, you're never going to make it a Champion League. That's impossible, because with this meta where off spawn, like fighting and SMGs, is so RNG based, it is so easy to die off spawn several games in a row. And so not only will Busfair tank your points, but it's also very easy to tilt and rage if you don't have a duo or a trio to back you up and calm you down, which I noticed was a big factor for me. And another thing about getting a solid trio is when one of the trio members isn't on, you can play with the duo, and when that duo isn't on, you can play with the other member of the trio, and when you're both on, you all three can grind arena points together. Now, maybe you're saying you don't have a trio and you can't find one, none of your friends play. Well, you don't really want a trio with your friends if you don't have to. Now, if you're struggling to find a duo and trio, all you have to do is whatever server you're on, if you're on NA West, East, EU, no matter what region you're on, go on that region's official scrims Discord. For me, it's West Opens. I know there's East Opens, there's probably EU Opens and stuff like that, I'm not sure. But whatever region you're on, go on that open Discord server for scrim and look for a duo and trio. It doesn't even have to be that official scrims server. It could be Fortnite server, it could be any just Fortnite server. You could tweet about it, just make sure you're looking online for a duo and trio, and just let them know how you play, your playstyle, because you want to have the same playstyle, right? If one of your trio members is a WK maniac and you're kind of more chill placement type farmer, you don't want to necessarily trio. Now you can, but try to find a trio that has similar playstyle. Make sure you let them know your role. An IGL, a support player, a fragger. Let them know your role. Find a trio that has 3 positions: the IGL, a fragger, and a support player. Let them know your position so you guys can come together and be the best trio you can. So that is it for the first step, and the most important step: find a trio, like I said. And with that trio, you'll find a duo. The season's FNCS is duos, so the most important thing I can tell you to do is find a trio/duo. Now, another very important key role, and this played the biggest part in my trio's grind to Champion League, is get a dedicated landing spot/loot route. For my trio, it was Synop Station. I kid you not, in the last week, we played probably around 4 to 5 hours a day, and we did not land anywhere else but Synop Station. Not only that, we have certain places each of us land at Synop Station, and once we're done looting, we go on this very specific and detailed loot route. What we do is I land in the front of Synop Station, one of us lands center of Synops, and someone lands in the very back of Synops. Once we're done looting, we take a rift, we go to the Rocky Reels blimp. From that blimp, we cannon over to Tilted, and then we go to, sometimes we'll go to Coney, sometimes we stay at Tilted, depending on where zone is. But the point is we did that for hundreds of games, probably. We did that 6 hours a night for the last week. So we grinded that pattern of landing at Synops, looting in our certain areas, and then going over and following that specific loot route. And having such a specific landing spot/landing route is good for a few reasons. So the first reason is it greatly reduces RNG. So let's say you kind of mess up your drop and one or two people get like a lot of good loot and you're stuck with like a gray auto and just gray bad loot. Well, that's not going to happen because we each have assigned looting roles and we each know where to go when we're looting. But let's just say you still have bad loot after you Synops. Well, it's such a dedicated route, you know where to go. Okay, we're going to go to Rocky and we can loot. Then we can just blimp all the way to Tilted, and then we can go to Coney and this and that. And eventually you're going to get good loot because you have such a good looting route. It's not like, okay, well, where do we go now since I'm shambles? You have a good path to go, no matter if you have really good loot or bad loot, so you know where to go and look for new loot. Reason 2 is it reduces the chances of dying off spawn. So let's just say your landing spot each game is Tilted's blimp. You're going to be conned most likely every game. But if you have assigned looting spots and landing spots for each player on Blimp, even if it's, down below, one gets cannon and one rushes inside, it's better than just, picking your spot as you're gliding down, not knowing where to go and who's going to land where, so it's not total chaos. You know where your teammates are, you know what path they're going on, and you know where everyone is, and it's much more calm and controlled, and you can focus on the fighting more rather than just running around trying to get a gun, finding where your teammates are. And the third reason is it really helps your comms, and it'll help you get to really mesh with your trio if it's a new trio. Because having a dedicated landing spot and landing loot route is a very good way to build your trio's confidence and build your experience together, because you're actually working together to find out what's best for you guys. Now, tip number 3, and this is different for all trios because some trios are very intense with W keying and that's how they get all their points, but for ours, and what we did to get to Champion League was we farmed heavy placement. Now, if you are a more conservative trio where you don't like to W key as much, one of the very important things you need to do is find out when you'll get placement points after each amount of trios die. And for us, at first we didn't know it, so it was kind of confusing. If we were in a fight, do we need to play this low key, or are we about to get placement points, or we didn't know what was happening, so we quickly realized we need to find out when we're going to get placement points after each amount of trios die, and that actually helped us a lot. I don't remember all of them, but I do know top 15 you get placement points, and once you get to top 10 in trios, you get placement every time a trio dies. So from top 10 to the first place trio, you get placement points every time a trio dies. So that was big because we noticed, we're top 11, alright, let's just play low key, let's just get top 10, and then we can just farm easy placement until it's just, a trio and us. And that was a very big thing, is because we knew how to play based on how many teams were left and what placement we were about to get. And a lot of it is we really played conservative in the sense that sometimes we would sit in a bush, or we would just turtle up on top of blimps and we would just wait for placement. I know this may seem boring, but it is the most effective way to play and get arena points to see them. And we quickly realized that because at first we started to W key, but it's very hard to consistently get kills and get consistent kills in arena. With the SMG meta, it's very hard to consistently W key and get a steady gain of arena points to Champion League with this meta. Let's say you have God Loot and you're ready to go W key, you have a Gold Stinger and a Gold Striker. There could be other people that have that same loot, and you could get 200 to 0, you could get sniped. It's very easy for that God loot to turn into nothing and that you quickly die without gaining any points because you decided to W key a trio. But if you're farming placement and you make it to top 5, top 4, top 3, and whatever, you're guaranteed to get placement points. Even if you have 50 bus fare, you're guaranteed to gain points if you can make it. Now, sure, you might want to get some kills because you don't want to just sit in a box till literally top 2, but placement is so much more consistent. You're guaranteed placement at top 10, top 9. You're guaranteed certain placement parts, and that's why it's much more efficient to just play placement. And I know it may be boring, I know it may not be as fun and as cool to get clips and stuff, but it is the much more effective way, and it's very useful. Tip number 4 is don't tilt after a bad game. I know me and my trio, we actually didn't have a whole lot of awful games where we just tanked. We died straight off spawn with a loss of 50 bus fare. But when you do die off spawn, which will happen, you're gonna have games where you don't gain points. You're probably gonna have losing streaks where you don't gain points and just lose maybe 50 to 100 points in, just 2 or 3 games. But it's very important not to get mad and not to tilt, because not only will it have a negative effect on you, but it will most likely have a negative effect on your trio, and they might even get mad. And once you and your trio are on this negative mindset, it's going to be impossible for you to gain points. What my trio did is, if we had a bad game, or even if we just died top 2, we could be mad about it for a second, we could see what we did wrong, but as soon as we get back to the lobby, we totally forget about it and we just focus on the next game, completely erase it from our minds and just get ready to focus and try to win the next game. It's also important to encourage your teammates. Let's say they do mess up, it's always important to say, what, it's all good, we're a team, we can go get them next game, it doesn't matter. And don't let your teammates get down on themselves either. Encourage each other and build each other up, and don't let one teammate get down on themselves just because they made a silly mistake. And the final tip number 5, is to practice with each other in creative. You're going to want to practice team modes in creative where you're on your trio's team, 3v3ing another team. Like I said, you can do that in scrims and stuff. In Discord, you can find people that want to 3v3. Do that, 3v3 with your team versus another team. That'll build chemistry, that'll build comms, and that'll just help you guys kind of work together and, help build that team connection. But it's also good to do zone war maps and scrim maps where you're 1v1v1ing and 1v1ing your team, just so you can kind of go against them and just so you can kind of get used to their playstyle. I know it may seem weird since in game you're not going against them, But what me and my trio noticed is when we're going against each other, it's kind of it's fun to, just kind of chill and take a break off of comp, but it's also nice because you're kind of getting used to their playstyle, so in game, okay, they're going to go do this, or, they're going to do this, right? And you can kind of get used to their playstyle off of 1v1ing them as well. But yeah, guys, those are the 5 tips, in my opinion, that helped me and my trio reach Champion League. Now, I know I only made champs last week, but I actually didn't play much before that, and I'm not even kidding you, I did these 5 things to get to champs. Before, I was just kind of doing solos, which was the worst decision I've ever made in my entire life. I'm never doing that again. I'd rather, hang myself. And I got a trio. We got a very designated loot path. And, we didn't rage, we didn't tilt, we practiced, and that, honestly, I gained more points since last Friday than I have in the last, since Arena Points reset. And if you do these things, I guarantee you will make it to champs. Even if you're already in champs and you're not doing some of these, you can just try them out at least. But like I said, this video is more for people who are struggling to get to Champion League. Trust me, do these things, practice. I know it may seem repetitive and annoying at times, but trust me, I mean it when I say it, you will get it if you do these things. So to sum it up, the first and most important tip is to get a solid trio/duo. Make sure, it doesn't matter where you get them, it could be in a Discord server, it could be, anything, just make sure you get a solid duo/trio that you can play with and that they can play a lot with you, so you can, have a dedicated trio and never play solos. Tip number 2 is to have a designated landing spot/landing route. It's very important. It'll reduce dying off spawn, RNG, this, that. It's a very, very important tip, and that will help you a lot as well. Tip number 3 is to farm placement. This is the least RNG thing you can possibly do. You are guaranteed placement at certain spots. Know when you're going to get placement. Know how many trios need to die for you to get this many points. But trust me, farm placement. W King is such a 50-50, especially with this meta. Doesn't matter you loot. You could have all gold stuff and die to someone with a gray striker and a gray sub because, they have a gray sub. Trust me, farming placement is the best thing you can do this season to get to champs, and it's the most efficient way. Tip number 4 is to not tilt and rage. Not only that, but encourage your teammates. If you have a bad game, it's all good. Don't let any specific person take the blame. Just see what you guys did wrong, what you could have done better. Be mad about it for a second, and then just forget about it. Once you get back to the lobby, it's history. Focus on winning the next game. So that the big part is just not to tilt. Don't let it affect you in future games. And then finally, the last tip is to practice with your friends, both against them and with them. Go against them 1v1v1s and zone war maps and box fights, but also play with them in 3v3, build fights and zone wars to help build that chemistry in both ways. So yeah, guys, those are my most effective ways to get to Champion League. I seriously did all these, and within 5 days I made it. It's a very, very solid 5 tips, and I think they're very good. They're from my own experience, so I mean, they worked for me. Hopefully they worked for you. I hope you guys did enjoy it. And if you're struggling to champs, let me know. I could give you some more pointers in the comments below. But yeah, I mean, I was struggling. I did these things, and like I said, within a few days I made it easy. So I will now be posting a lot of tournament gameplay. The Trios Champion Cup is this Friday. The Trios Cash Cup, I don't know why I said Champion Cup, it's this Friday. We'll be posting that gameplay, hopefully, if I can get enough storage to record. My storage is all messed up for some reason, but hopefully I should have enough storage to record. If not, I'll kind of post a highlight video on how we did. And yeah, I'm super excited about hitting champs. I hope you guys can hit it too if you're struggling. If you are in champs, let me know how you did it. If you have any tips, put it in the comments for other people. And yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm posting a ton of content, like I said, this video, and then a lot more coming. We got tournament videos, storyline videos, update videos, just any type of content you guys want, let me know. I'll be posting it. I hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.